The 12 Dancing Princesses. Once there was a king who had 12 daughters. They were all very beautiful. The princesses all slept in a large room. When evening came, the king would lock them inside. However, it happened that every morning, when the door was opened, their dances were all worn. True, no one knew where they went during the night. So the king commanded that whoever could figure out where the princesses went dancing could marry one of the princesses and become the king after his death. However, if he couldn't figure out in 3 days' time, he would be beheaded. One day, a soldier was passing by. When he ran into an old woman, she asked him where he was going. The soldier said, "I don't know. How wonderful it would be if I could figure out the princess's secret and become king." "That's easy," said the old lady. "Just don't drink the glass of wine given to you and then pretend to be asleep in the big room." Next, she gave the soldier her cloak. It was an invisibility cloak. That way, he could follow the princesses to see where they went without their knowing he was there. So the soldier went to put his request before the king. That evening, the eldest princess handed him a glass of wine. The soldier did not drink a sip, but poured it all onto a sponge that he had prepared earlier. Then he pretended to fall asleep. The princesses excitedly changed into beautiful skirts and got all dressed up to go to the ball. After they were sure that the soldier was fast asleep, the eldest princess knocked a few times beside her bed and a trap door opened. One by one, they walked down a staircase. Inside the trap door, the eldest princess was in the front. The soldier put on the invisibility cloak and followed the youngest princess. At the bottom of the staircase was a beautiful pathway. Along the pathway were the trees with resplendent silver leaves. The soldier broke off a branch for proof. Next, they walked on pathways lined with trees, filled with gold and diamond leaves. The soldier broke off branches from each to 4 fruit. Next, the princesses came to a big river. Their 12 boats awaited them. In each boat sat a handsome prince. The soldier got in the boat with the youngest princess. As the prince rowed the boat, he thought, "So strange. The boat is so heavy today. I don't know why." Finally, they came to a beautiful palace on the opposite side of the river. It was a glorious sight. Beautiful music began to play. The princes began dancing with their princess of choice. The princesses dancing until the next morning. Only when their shoes were worn through were they forced to stop. When they returned to the staircase, the soldier first returned to his bed and began snoring very loudly. The princesses changed out of their clothes, threw their shoes under their beds, and lied down in bed. For 3 consecutive nights, the soldier would follow them. When it was time for him to see the king, the soldier told the matter to the king. He also showed him the branches. The king called for the 12 princesses and asked them if it was true or not. When the princesses saw the branches, they had to admit that it was all true. The soldier married the eldest princess. They held their wedding that day. When the king died, the soldier became king, and they lived happily ever after. The end.